Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. I showed you in a couple of recent videos that I am actually just kind of cleaning out the refrigerator, organizing things and actually canning some stuff so I can clear up some space in the freezer. Now what I have here, which I'm just looking for a measuring cup here, is in this pot I have some papaya, and yeah, little did I know that there were some pieces of watermelon in along with the papaya. So I ground everything up along with some figs that I had. Figs. And now I am adding sugar. I think this pot is a bit too deep. I need one with more surface area. Plus I'm measuring out the liquid I have in here. That's 4 cups, 6 cups, okay, so we can say this is 6, 7, 8 cups. 8 cups of pureed papaya, watermelon, apples, and fig. It's everything but the kitchen sink. I'm making a jam. Everything but the kitchen sink jam. Yeah, so now I've changed the pot. I'm gonna add some more sugar. I've already added 2 cups of sugar, and I'm just gonna add 1 more because I don't want it to be extraordinarily sweet. So I'm gonna add 1 more cup of sugar. My issue here is I have some sugar in this jar that I want to use up before I open another bag of sugar, and this is a bit tough. It has hardened in the jar, so I'm just trying to get it loose. I'm sure this is more than a cup of sugar in here, but what the heck? Let's get it in. And I'm just gonna let it stay here and boil and reduce. What happened is that some of the water is gonna evaporate. I'm not gonna add any pectin. The apples that I put in here should add enough pectin. Plus I added some lemon juice and I added a little cinnamon. Let's see how sweet this is. Actually, it's not excessively sweet. It could take a little more of the sugar. It could take the sugar that's left in this jar. I think my wooden spoon is gonna break the jar, but the knife will, so yeah. I think this is gonna taste so good. Yeah. Jams are so easy to make, guys. So easy to make. You can make it sweet or you can make it savory. Well, it's gonna be sweet. You can take savory products and make a sweet jam, but it's gonna ultimately be sweet because you have to add sugar to it, right? Okay, good. So I'm gonna let it take its time and reduce while I am gonna go ahead and wash up some dishes. Okay, so that's what it looks like in the pot. Okay, so I think my jam is ready to jam. Yeah. It is boiling now at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and 220 is good enough. So I am gonna go ahead and put the jam in the jars that I just washed out. And I'm gonna leave just a 1/2 inch headroom. Usually I just take it up to the curve right there. Yeah, and that's good for me. I think that's more than a 1/2 inch, but that's okay.
This is finger looking good. That's good. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the jars. And then finger tight. It's pretty hot. No, that's gonna be too. Okay, let me just use this to hold them.
I like to do a tight finger tight. It is good, guys. You should try it. Okay, so how long should jams be processed for? Okay, so now I am gonna have to process these jars in my canning pot. Let's just take this away. It's good. But because I'm busy licking my spoon. Because my jars are hot, I want to make sure I put the jars in hot water. In the meantime, I am going to boil some water to make it even hotter. Because whenever you are putting your jars in water, you should make sure that the jars and the water in the pot are about the same temperature. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, turn on the burner. There we go. And then I'm going to get some more water to go in there. So good. It's so good. So good. So good. So good. You gotta let the water get hotter because my jars are piping hot. I don't think that will fit. That's it. What I'm gonna do is let the canning pot boil over on this side, and I have decided that I am gonna make a banana apple jam. Let's see if I can defrost them because I want to get the peel off. Oh no, I don't want 23 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. I have some other bananas here that are very overripe. I'm gonna peel them and put them in the blender. Yeah, maybe I should put the blade in first. So I have 4 ripe bananas here. I'm going to use the same saucepan the same pot. Okay, so let's see if, oh good, they're good enough to go. That's 5 bananas.
Six bananas. Seven bananas. Eight bananas. Oh, there's another one. 9 bananas.
Okay, so now, okay, let's get a spoon. Now I preserved these apples just this summer. That's 2 cups of canned apples, 3 cups of apples, or 3 cups of apple. Okay, dump it in. It's about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm gonna go ahead and crush it. That's it. Let's turn the burner on. And I'm gonna pour this out into the pot. I am just gonna put this off to the side because I don't want it to burn me. It is splashing a little. So that's it. Not exactly covering it. There we go. I want to get 3 cups in.
This is 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1. I think I'm gonna do 3. I may just do 2. I like too much sugar. Quarter, 1/2, 3/4, 2. I think 2 cups of sugar are plenty enough. Because the sugar is what helps to preserve it and help it to form that jam state, we're going to go ahead and do the other cup of sugar. It's not like we're going to eat a cupful of it anyways. 1/2, 3/4, 3 cups of sugar. Sugar, sugar, sugar.
Look what I do, guys. I put the back of the bread. We call it bread back in Jamaica. Put the back in the sugar and it helps to keep it soft and loose. Now
Let's stir. So now I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to put it like this because it's kind of splashing. I don't want it to splash out.
It is splashing a bit, guys. That's why I'm using the lid as a shield. Now it is, I guess I should take off the foamy stuff. I'm just going to use a little strainer. The truth is, I hate doing this because I just think that it is, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I feel like I'm wasting the jam. Okay, now let's test the temperature. And while I'm testing it, I don't allow the tip to touch the bottom of the pot. Yep, 275 degrees. 220 degrees. It's okay at that stage. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to jar it up. Tastes good. Yeah, it tastes good. Just feels a little thin, so I'm gonna let it go ahead and boil for a little bit more.
Feels like it can boil for a little bit more, although it's past 220. We're good. We're good here. We're good here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the jar. We're good here. We're good here. 250. That's good. Actually, it passed 250, went to 275. Okay, we'll turn this off. And of course, when it cools, it is going to get thicker. And I'm going just below the neck of the jar. That is enough headroom. I am thinking that I would love to make guava jam. Guava jam is something that we made growing up in Jamaica, but then we could just go and pick guava, right? Anywhere the guava trees were, to make the jam or the jelly. Here, gotta buy guava. And they're hardly good and they're very expensive. So maybe I won't be able to do it. Good. The sugar in the jam will help to preserve it. Plus, I put some lemon juice in, and I will be canning them for 15 minutes just to make sure that they are shelf stable. Do I need I don't need another jar. I'll just take a small jar.
This one, I won't put in the canner. I don't remember if I turned the camera back on. I hope I did. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's on. Okay. Yeah, I should put this over here and turn the burner back on. I don't like that, man. Why don't you just come on? Good.
Now, where is my cloth? I am gonna clean the lids. Now, this one here, I may give it to my neighbor. Okay, so there's a school of thought that you can actually take your jar and turn it upside down and leave it there for a while, maybe overnight, 24 hours, and then turn it upside. Oh, feels pretty sticky here. I'm gonna wet this a bit. Feels a bit sticky. Okay, that's better. Okay, there we go. Now, let's cover them.
As a matter of fact, I do something similar for my maple syrup jars because I don't can them. We just boil the syrup and cover them when they're roaring hot. And I usually turn them upside down for a few minutes and then I flip them back. And in a bit, you hear them start popping. And that's the only way that your produce, your preserves, conserves, that's the only way they are going to be shelf stable when they're sealed. Okay, so it's pretty hot. So we should be good to put them in. Although this is hot, yeah, it is hot, I'm still timid to put them in because I really don't want them to break. But I'll just gently put them in.
This should be good enough. Yeah, they are going to fit. I know the 4 first ones would be too few, and so I thought I'd do some more, but I wasn't sure if all of these would fit. And yeah, they are going to fit. And the water is actually coming up above them, so that's a good thing. Yeah, we're good. This one's not going in there. Now, the recommended height, let me just take you guys a little closer and show you something. Yeah, I should mention that recently I have decided to add the link to Safe Canning, the Safe Canning website from the government of Canada, right? And so that's always going to be in the description whenever I'm doing any type of canning. But what I want to show you guys here is the height of the water. Now, it is recommended that the water should be 1 to 2 inches above the jars. Right now, mine is just about a half an inch. So I'm going to boil some more water to add to it. And I'm not going to add cold water because that will break my jars. So that's why I'm boiling the water.
Okay, that should be fine. Should boil up pretty quickly. Now, not only are we supposed to have like an inch to 2 inches above the jars, but it's also recommended that you have at least 2 inches from the water to the top of your pot, and that is to accommodate the water when it's boiling and bubbling away. Okay, so now that the jars are in the pot, I may have mentioned it before and I don't remember. However, what I was going to say is, now that the jars are in the pot, I need to let this boil for 15 minutes. Now the recommended time is 10 minutes if you did not sterilize all your equipment. If you sterilize everything, then 5 minutes is okay. However, because we live above over 1,000 feet above sea level, that we have to add an extra 5 minutes. So whenever you see any type of timing when you're canning, assume that the time is for people who live up to 1,000 feet above sea level. If you're between 1,001 to 3,000, you add 5 minutes. If you are 3,001 to 6,000, you add 10 minutes, and so on, right? I'm not sure who's going to be canning up there in Mount Kilimanjaro, but anyways, yeah, or Mount Everest. Yeah, but anyways, guys, yeah, this is going to go ahead now and boil for, yes, 15 minutes. So I'll have to wait. That's also important. Although I put the jars in and the water is hot, I have to wait until it comes to a roaring boil. And that is when I start timing it, okay? So right now, I'm not going to start timing it yet because it's not at that point. Gotta see it, hear it, boiling before I start timing it. So I'll wait for that. So we are done boiling. That's a nice patient, eh? We are done boiling for 15 minutes. However, I'm gonna let it sit for a bit so it can cool before I take it out. Because what happens when you take your jars from higher temperature to a lower temperature, you can get what is called siphoning. And siphoning is when your product that's in the jar bubbles over, right? Because of the change in temperature. And that has happened to me before when I took my jars out, right? So I am going to have a little patience here and I'm going to give it some time to cool. And I think it's about time to get this baby out. What was I doing all along without a jar lifter? I was just cutting up some carrots to go with some green beans for dinner. And so that's what I'm chewing. I'm chewing the raw carrots. So good. Wow. I have 8 jars of jam. Oh my goodness, it looks like the water got in this one. That's no good. Let's try these. No. 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 Yes, it looks like the water got into it. How comes? No, not in this one either. And that is why I like to I know you're supposed to go finger tight, but I like to really tighten it with my fingers because, yeah, it happens. The water can get in there. This one's okay too. It's just this one that the water got into. These jars I bought recently. No, I can't keep it like that. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's quite a bit of water in there. Huh. What happened here? I guess I didn't tighten it properly. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. You know what? What I'm gonna do is leave this one aside. When it cools, we can put it in the fridge so we can get it to eat. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's get this pot out of the way. I guess I can just push it over here for now. Yep. And my green beans. My carrots are over there on the island. I was able to stay on the island and cut my carrots. This is why I changed the design. And my brown rice is cooking. And I just made some seasoned fish here. Sardines. Sardines are good for you. Has a lot of vitamin D. Okay, so I put a lot of peppers and tomatoes and onions in with this sardine. Okay, so yeah, the magic is gonna be when I hear these jars start popping. Some white stuff on it because we have pretty hard water here. Oh. Accidents do happen. Doesn't matter how long you've been canning, it does happen. There we go. Just gonna let those stay there. I'm gonna rinse this off. I'm gonna wait until my rice is almost done cooking before I steam the veggies. I am so happy with what I have been able to accomplish by making these jams because it means that I used up some produce that were in the fridge for a while, taking up space, and some very overripe bananas going along with my apples. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Please like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe, guys. You take care now. I will see you in the next video.